Hello, Maisie and Patrick. This is Heather Newton reviewing your entry in the social deduction design competition, Crazy Unicorns. Let's first start by looking at the images above the fold on your shop page. I think this is doing a great job of drawing me in from the beginning. I like that you used a thematic background that's not just a repeat of your logo, and then you put your logo over the thematic background, making sure it landed in a good place over the top of that background. It looks like, I think this is the card back image, or maybe expanded card back image from your game. And it's very bright and fun and conveys the light, fun, silly feeling of this game. And I think your logo is really cool looking, and I like the little unicorn peeking in. So good job on putting something really appealing up at the top. I like this funny quote that you put above your cool factors. I like your cool factors. They're focusing on what is unique about your game. And I would say your description section is pretty standout for most games at all that I see listed on GameCrafter shop pages. You've got kind of a mix of images and text, and you have some nice like thematic headers with the matching font from your branding, and they really stand out a lot more than even just larger text, and some great pictures of your cards that I can see clearly here. In your description section, before I even get to the bottom down here with the action shots. And yeah, you haven't gone on and on teaching all the rules here. You've just kept it short and sweet and gotten the point across so I can see if I am interested to download the rules and learn more at the bottom. And your box here, that looks great. We've got the name of the game on all sides and even the icons of the player count, so it looks a very finished product. And again, you have a fun font that you've chosen and been consistent with your branding and everything on the outside of the box. And I like that you were able to get it all to fit in a small Pro box, which is a nice component from the GameCrafter that will be really nice and sturdy and make it feel like a finished store-bought game. And these fun like wooden hearts. And yeah, I like that card back. That's pretty cool. And of course you did great in an art test, got high marks, and now we have photographs of the prototype or the copy that you've ordered from the GameCrafter. Great well-lit images, so that's awesome. You know, I think that this page is different now than it was when I was first reviewing it, because I remember there were videos on this page at one point. And I think probably you've done some things to improve it, but I will speak to the video thing that I remember, because I remember before when I watched it, the videos were, I think there was more than one video, I might be misspeaking there, but there was at least one where it was kind of an interview style with dad behind the camera and daughter and friend in front of the camera, and dad was interviewing daughter and friend, right? Or that was the setup. And it was kind of just talking about the fact that they love the game and some funny moments from the game that they'd played recently, and it was showing off the fact that kids love the game, and that's one of the pluses of this game. But what I wanted to see instead was a how to play video. And I think really ideally I would like to see both dad and daughter sitting together, looking at the camera and teaching the viewer how to play the game through, whatever means is best. Maybe it's like playing out some examples together or whatever, but I would like to be able to see, I think that would be great to see your dynamic between one another, since you made this game together, and that's unique and really cool thing about this game. It makes me happy to see families working together on projects and making games that they like to play together. I think that would be a selling point and draw people into the product if you're looking to market it further. So now let's go over and look at the rules. And again, these are really, well laid out. Again, consistent branding, fun imagery, and a lot of stuff that I like about the rules too. Even the language that's used to teach the game is branded and colorful, where you at some point you say that, that's it, you crazy unicorn, or whatever, and your first player choice is funny, and all pointing back to the fun, silly, light theme of misbehaving unicorns, but maybe misbehaving in a more kid-friendly way than something like, I guess I don't know a lot of details of Unstable Unicorns, but it's kind of like, I get the impression it's kind of like that game, but it's more gentle and maybe not as offensive as that game would be, whereas this is just kind of kid fart humor, and that's about as dirty as it gets. So it would be appropriate for kids to play, since kids love unicorns, right? And so this game did not qualify for being a finalist because I actually disqualified it from the contest at all. I didn't give it a score because it's not a social deduction game. Or as far as I can tell, there's nothing that even is close to or similar to a social deduction game in this game. And I even got a second opinion on this call, and that was really the only thing I got a second opinion on. As a judge, I just pretty much made all the decisions myself except for that. I had somebody else read it and say, like, is there something I'm missing here? Because I don't even see something that could be borderline social deduction would be bluffing, but I don't even see anything that's about bluffing in this game. There's no like playing a card down and saying it's one thing and seeing if people believe you. It's just, as far as I can tell, you just play the card straight up. And I, just as a side note, I have I feel confused about how you draw cards. It never says to draw cards. And the best I can figure is that that's because you only draw cards when cards instruct you to draw cards. Maybe that is what is going on. There's this one that says draw 2 cards. There's maybe no default drawing of cards. But I don't know. Maybe these are not all the cards, but I kind of even glance over the cards that are available that are shown, on the shop page, and maybe there are just a ton of these draw 2 cards. But yeah, it's I see that we're doing set collection and we're doing take that. So there's picking on each other, and that's probably about the only thing this game has in common with social deduction, is that there's picking on each other, but that's not the same thing. So since this was the social deduction game design contest, I couldn't consider this, I couldn't really even compare this to anything else that was entered into the contest, because it's not a social deduction game, which was the premise of the whole contest. So although I'm not taking it further, I'm not taking it as a finalist or anything like that, I did want to make this video and talk about kind of the merits of the game and show it off a little bit in this video, because I do think it's a really cool, fun project. I think it's something that you could potentially, you've done a lot of work to make it a finished and completed project. And it would be a shame, I think, if you don't get it out to the public in some kind of publishable form. I think you could do a bit of a marketing campaign and sell it on the Game Crafter, or maybe separately do a Kickstarter and fulfill through the Game Crafter, and that way you don't have to have a really high funding goal. And I don't think the game would have to be very expensive. I think it would be an easy purchase for a lot of people, probably I don't know, maybe $25. Hopefully it wouldn't need to be much more than that. And that can be a pretty easy yes. So I think that it seems to me that this game has a future if you want to continue developing it and marketing it and getting it out to the public. I'm excited to see what you guys do with it, and I'm excited to see you guys designing together and what you will do next. Hey there, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description for more information and links to helpful resources. Some links give me a commission if you choose to buy, and I sure do appreciate the support. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.